You're about to see
10 chefs from
10 different countries
making dumplings.
There are a lot of different types of dumplings in China. One of my favorite is this Sichuan style dumplings. The flavor is very complex, yet so well balanced. So I want to show everyone how to make this dumplings. First, I'm going to show you how to make chili oil. Neutral oil here, I'm simmering aromatics and spices like ginger scallion, garlic, bay leaf, and star anise. Once they are slightly charred, remove the aromatics and spices from the oil, and I'm going to reheat the oil until almost smoking. Some chili flakes I made with Sichuan chilies. These are called 二荆条, and they have a well-balanced spiciness and aroma. In the chili flakes, we're going to add ground Sichuan peppercorn powder. I have some white sesame seeds. Pour the oil over the chili flakes. The chili oil looks a little bit dark brown, but let it sit overnight and the red color will show. And the flavor actually will be a little bit better the next day. I'm going to show you how to make the filling. We have ground pork here, about 30% fat. I'm going to add some seasoning, salt, soy sauce, cooking wine. The wine will remove the gaminess of the meat dishes and adds extra flavor. White pepper powder and Sichuan peppercorn powder to make this extra Sichuan. MSG. And then sesame oil. I also have some ginger scallion water. I'm going to slowly add the water to the meat to add extra moisture. You don't want to overstir it. It will bruise the scallions and it will turn the scallions to a bitter taste. So normally we'll soak them in water and then just use the flavored water for the filling. Do this for about 10-20 minutes. We want to recombine the ground meat to make the texture a little bit firm and then bouncy. I know it's almost ready. When the texture becomes very pasty, put a little bit of meat in the center. I'm gonna moist the wrapper. And this is a very easy way of wrapping dumplings. Seal it up while pushing the side of the wrappers up a little bit, and it'll create beautiful natural pleats. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is an auspicious number. Let's cook them. I'm going to add the dumplings into boiling water, and you want to add the dumplings one by one so they don't stick together. And also you want to stir the water right away. Use the back of your spoon and gently so you don't break the wrappers. Once the water is boiling, turn it to low to let it simmer. 5 minutes is up. Dumplings are cooked. I know they're cooked because they are floating on top of the water, and also the wrapper is translucent. We're going to add some flavored soy sauce first and chili oil, and a kick. We're going to add some pureed garlic on top. Before you serve, mix everything together and enjoy. It's perfect.
Manti is a very simple dumpling made of ground meat, served with a yogurt sauce and butter. When my mom asked me what she should make for me, this is what I demand. I say, just make manti. The filling is very simple. Ground beef, finely chopped onions. In Turkish cuisine, parsley goes into everything. Some black pepper and some salt. And I'm just going to mix this. This dough is very similar to pasta dough. It has eggs and also water, but it's a tough dough. To roll the dough, I'm going to use this very thin roller. Name of this tool is oklava. In Turkey, this is used for making all sort of things, but mostly like very thin rolled doughs, like baklava or filo dough. This is something I saw my mom do all the time. So she rolls the dough and then the dough rolls out so even. This is an amazing technique. The next step is cutting this dough. So I'm going to use this tool I have, which is not traditional. This is a tool that we use in bakery. My mom would use just a knife, but again, she's the best. I'm not that skilled. I'm going to cut these tiny squares. You know, smaller the dumplings, more skilled you are. I made a tiny batch for this video. In a household, this would be as big as this board. This dish is a very good example of Turkish cuisine. Everything is very labor intensive, kind of small, absolutely worth it though. I like to hold them in a square, pinch the sides together, and then meet them in the middle. It would be like an assembly line where my mom fill it with the filling, and then me, my sisters, and my father would fold the dumplings. We cook manti just like cooking pasta. This is going to take about 5 minutes maybe. Once the dumplings start floating, that's my indicator that they are close to being ready. This goes right into the plate. I do want a little bit of the liquid, so you don't need to drain the whole thing. Manti is served with garlic yogurt sauce. I'm gonna put on top, very generous. This is butter sauce with tomato paste. So this is just melted butter. Once the butter starts bubbling, you add the tomato paste, and that's it. Very simple sauce. I'd like to put a little spice, so this is just crushed red peppers. Finally, anything I put garlic yogurt on, I put dried mint. Let's see. I nailed it. Not as good as my mom's. I'm saying this to please my mom. I feel like if somebody makes this dish to you, they love you.
My dumpling is going to be hitokuchi gyoza, translated to English as one bite dumpling. It's a very common one in the Fukuoka side, which is southern side of Japan's traditional way of eating gyoza. And this is my personal favorite as well. The structure is very simple. This is ground pork. I'd like to mix and knead it a little bit so that it gets a little sticky. And I will put cabbage, onions. Once incorporated, season everything. Starting with ginger and garlic. Touch of sesame oil, MSG, white pepper, and salt. And last but not least, this is just a liquid mix with the oyster sauce, mirin, sake, and soy sauce. Growing up, we always buy wheat wrapper. I think it's more convenient. First of all, let's put the water around the wrapper. Scoop a little bit, not too much. Yeah, that's here the edge. Pinch, tuck, press. Pinch, tuck, press. Pinch, tuck, press. It's tightly sealed so that when you cook it, juice is not going to come up. Season with just a touch of sesame oil. And right now, pan is not heating up. The first piece of gyoza. Boom. And all the gyoza is going to be cooked at the same time, and it's going to be on a plate like a round circle, so that not only you, but then your friends, your family, they will share that plate. On a low heat. I'm cooking at the bottom of the gyoza so that it's going to have a foundation. The one I'm looking for is the bottom is crispy, but the inside is juicy. And then you got the water, potato starch mixture. Not too much, because if you put it too much, the wing is going to be like really gooey. And it takes a lot of time to cook off. And that's when gyoza itself is going to start burning out. So once you start hearing this drier sound, you can take off your lid. And then wait for this to evaporate more so that you're going to get the crispy wing. Once the lid's off, and then you see these bubbles are getting larger and larger, and now it starts getting smaller all of a sudden because there's not enough water. Now this is the time you're gonna do max heat and finish it. You put the plate on, and then gyoza desu. This is Japanese dumpling. Hear the sound? Sounds nice. Dipping sauce. I think I nailed it, yeah, absolutely.
The dish that I'm going to be making today are called ukdiche modak. It's something that I grew up eating. It's also the offering that we make to Lord Ganesh. Made once during the year. I'm very excited to be making this today. First thing that I have with me is a dough called the ukad, made out of rice flour, milk, and water. These are not like wontons or dumplings where the thinner they are, the better they are. Take the dough ball in your hand and then you use the force of your palms to get like a really nice circular shape. And then you just use your thumb, press into it while making a cup shape, keeping the edges a little thicker than the center of the dough. This is where it gets a little intricate. I'm trying to do as many as I can, leaving a little bit of space right in the middle for that filling to go in. The filling that goes inside is called a saran. It's made with fresh grated coconuts, some jaggery, poppy seeds, toasted cashews and almonds. And the point is to get all those pleats and all those petals that you formed onto the middle. Once you have the basic thing formed, make like a tip out of it as pointy as you can so it doesn't open when it's steaming up. Traditionally, whenever we make these, we always make them in sets of 11, 21, 51, 101 because you never make an even number. That's just the way that they're offered to God. We're going to get ready for steaming, but what I'm going to do before that is I'm going to take some water. I'm just going to put it right on this tip. And I'm going to put a strand or two of saffron right on top of these. It symbolizes that this is an offering made to God. We're letting God know that we care about you and we're very happy that you've come and you visited us. I have a nice pot of water which has been boiling. Traditionally, they're put on banana leaves and then steamed. I'm going to put a little bit of ghee on them and start putting them into the steamer. And that's it. It's been 8 minutes. We've had our modak steaming. Now, traditionally, what I would do is I would first offer one to God and then I would start eating it, but I'm just going to do that in my mind. Take the tip off. Just make like a little nice cavity in this. have some melted warm ghee. I'm gonna have my first bite. Which takes me back straight home. I haven't had these in years. It's just these different textures coming in together. It's outstanding.
Khinkali is a dish that Georgians are very proud of. Every region makes their own version of it. This is gonna be kalakuri style khinkali, made with beef, pork, onions, touch of herbs, and wild caraway. We have here already ground beef and pork that has already mixed caraway. You can use regular caraway if you don't have wild caraway. You want some fat for your meat. Fat is what gives an extra juice and the flavor. We're gonna take this finely chopped cilantro, like some of these onions, salt, black pepper, and crushed red pepper. This water is what helps develop the soup that comes out of the dumpling when you take the first bite. You can have this for lunch, but you wouldn't make this at home for lunch. You would go to the khinkali house and have like a dozen with beer, possibly. This is a basic flour, water, salt dough. It's made with cold water because you don't want your flour to start cooking as you're making it. The stronger the better because you get more shiny dough, you get a lot more broth in it. So you make a full folds. There's a saying that this had 19 dimples, which was related to some pre-Christian song tradition. Slowly start bringing this together, almost like a flower that starts opening up. Push up, sort of like a lengthening the neck. And you can feel it in your hand that it's ready to be twisted and done. Hot water with generous serving of salt. Mix the water to create this vortex. And you start slowly lowering the dumplings. You want them to move around, you don't want them to stick. Fresh khinkali of this size takes about 7 to 8 minutes. You can see them start floating up and turning upside down. 30 seconds to go, and before we take this out, we pour a cold water on top to get that foam off, and also it makes it more shiny. They're still puffed up, they're gonna depuff in a second. Garnish it with our spice mix with summer savory and a little bit of a red pepper for extra kick. Usually it goes on top, but I prefer to put it around the plate so you can dip your dumpling in it for as much spice and flavor as you want. You cannot eat the khinkali with a fork and knife. You eat it with your hand. So you grab it from the top, you turn it upside down, take a little bite, drink the broth, and then you'll eat the rest. These are the best dumplings in the world.
I'm making Ukrainian dumpling, which we call vareniki. Vareniki are very important in Ukraine. They are soul food. We eat vareniki often at family gathering or at any holidays. First step for making the filling, you are boiling the potatoes. After they boiled, you mash them and you add farmer cheese and fried onion to it. Farmer cheese and mashed potato, the most traditional filling you can get. Everybody in Ukraine, almost everybody, make their own farmer cheese. So it's like ingredient you always have in your fridge. The dough, what my mom taught me to make, it's eggs, milk, water, and flour, little bit salt. It's gonna take around a couple of minutes until desired thinness. That's why Ukrainian women are so strong. It's not easy to roll it. I'm looking about for 2 millimeters in thickness. It's very helpful to have a metal cutter when we make 8,000 vareniki a day. But at home, we usually use a glass. And now we're gonna be filling vareniki. The filling, make sure it's not too much. Stretch the dough a little bit and just pinch it together. The water is boiling. Season it with the salt. Now carefully place vareniki inside the boiling water, but be very gentle. Gonna boil up to 5 minutes. When they float, boil them another 4 or 5 minutes. In Ukraine, we eat vareniki with caramelized onions and sour cream. The more, the better. Amazing feeling. Delicious, just like mama's.
The popular dumplings in Indonesia, we call it siomai. Historically, from Chinese cuisine, assimilated in Indonesia through Chinese traders. Indonesian, it's siomai any time of the day. There's a street cart version of siomai. They walk around with the huge steamer and they come to everybody's houses. Siomai, siomai. Oh, it brings me back. Yeah, this is Spanish mackerel. Next, we do ice to help with the texture to stay chewy, not to break apart. Garlic powder, I like it garlicky. Onion powder, black pepper, salt. In Indonesian, we call this labu siam. Here, it's called chayote, and I'm very happy I can find it anywhere because in Hispanic recipe, people use chayote also. Scallions, fish sauce, a little bit. It brings a very umami flavor. This is very important ingredient, tapioca flour. Gives chewy texture to the siomai. Let's get dirty. Siomai is not only a dumpling, but it's a whole meal. So we're not only gonna put it in the wrapper, but also put it on the other ingredients to the potato and the tofu. For the siomai with wonton, I do this to make a base to put on the wonton. Each corner meat like this, and then another. And then we put a little bit of carrots. The next one. The siomai are done. They're going to the steamer for around 35 to 40 minutes. It's beautiful and smells like the food cart from Jakarta. Potato, tofu, the siomai. We use peanut sauce on many things. On rice, snacks, fritters, almost anything. I'm gonna drizzle sweet soy sauce. In Indonesia, we eat siomai with fork or spoon. Oh yeah, it's perfectly steamed. So good. Proud of myself.
So the dumpling in Algeria is called the barek. It's mostly based out of filo dough, but I like to just do it more like a ravioli, which is kind of similar as a dumpling. We use the very thin semolina with some olive oil. The olive oil will help stretch the dough easily. Warm water with the semolina, make it a quick dough. So this filling is already cooked. I use ground lamb and I added cumin, salt, pepper. We boiled some egg and added on with also some potato and parsley and coriander. That's the traditional barek filling. So I'm going to use that fruit to lay out the dough. I'm using water to stretch the dough a little bit more and then I close it with the forks. We are now ready to fry our beautiful dumpling. Low, medium, high. Add some olive oil, those cuties to the pot. It doesn't have to be so hot. It's meant to be crispy. We don't want this to overcooked. I'm adding the chicken broth to have a little bit of more taste into the dough. Okay, so we are ready to serve our dumplings. So adding some harissa mayo. Harissa is a spicy red pepper that we make in-house. They're very common in Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco. We garnish with parsley, cilantro. Dip the dumpling into the harissa mayo. So good.
The truth is the French people don't really do dumplings. The closest one that you can find it's ravioli de royan. It's a tiny pasta that's stuffed with Comté cheese and parsley. They're very delicious. I'm going to show you how I make my versions of those real ravioli. At home, we usually buy them frozen. We separate them like this, and we're gonna cook them as a traditional pasta. Start them in a salty boiling water. We're gonna reduce chicken stock while they're cooking. French love their chicken stock to make things better. To make it a little bit more interesting, we're gonna add the black truffle. So now that my dumplings are raised, I can remove them. And we're gonna add butter directly. Little sea salt, black pepper. I'm just gonna finish it with a little chive. The chive make everything taste better. And voila. Beautiful balance between the cheese inside and And the butter and the truffle. Amazing.
There are so many dumplings in Korea. The most classic, the most traditional one, I believe, is a gogi mandu, which is a meat dumpling. It packs all the flavor, all the punch. It tastes clean. I think it's one of my favorite. I love making this steamed dumpling. Vegetable ingredients first. This one is a Korean chives. It's called puchu. And this one is just a leek. I just cook it until it's a little tender. Cabbage, it's quickly been blanched. Tofu, also squeezed out until it's like the soul of the ingredients. Bean sprout, this also has been blanched and then just squeezed. Minced garlic, a little bit of ginger, and then pork gelatin. Took me 2-3 days to make it. I just boil with the pork neck bones, pork leg bones, and pork feet, and then yeondu, which is like a Korean soy essence. It's flavor bomb, you can think. Black pepper, and then soy sauce. These vegetables are to create that crunch texture to it as you eat it. Cooking beforehand these vegetables, you don't want to cook it too long, otherwise it becomes a little too mushy. This pork is mostly pork shoulder. I think pork shoulder has a very good fat to meat ratio. I like to keep flavor inside rather too dry. This is a dumpling wrap that I get from the store. Make sure you get a good chunk of filling inside here. If you don't put much in it, it's gonna just taste like a flour and dough, and you don't want that. You want a lot of flavors. Water around it, kind of think it's like you're putting a glue around it. When you're folding it, make sure you get all the air out and make sure all the filling gets spread out evenly. Add another glue to it, to the edge of the skin, and make it into circular shape. And that's how you make Korean dumpling before you steam it. The water is hot. I'm gonna put the steamer inside, trap the steam, and then once it traps, I'm gonna put the dumpling in there and I'm gonna start cooking. This is just a pad so the dumpling doesn't get stuck. Steam it for about 10 minutes and it should be ready. In restaurants, people actually serve the dumplings in a basket, and I'm gonna just eat it the way it is. And this is a soy sauce and a vinegar, and once that's done, yep, that packs all the flavors, juice. Wow, the flavor is, wow, it's very delicious.
These are the best dumplings in the world.
Delicious.
You have to try it.
This is my favorite order.
Well, you guys want to try or not?
Watching a 6'5" guy holding the tiniest dumplings in the world.